Hey everyone,
I'm Žiga,
and I'm Bojan.
and together we are half of the team of mixanalog.com.
Mixanalog.com. Yeah.
And
Welcome.
you seem to have joined our bi-weekly live Q&A webinar, which we do to proclaim news of what we are doing for the last 2 weeks to existing watchers, users, and so on.
Yeah.
And to answer all the questions from maybe new users or existing users that have problems with something regarding mix analog or audio production or something like that.
Bravo, comrade. Very well done.
I seem to be in a bit of strange mood today, so
Yeah, it's fine.
excuse my weirdness.
So to sum up, the way this works is we do this every 2 weeks on Wednesdays, and we broadcast what's been new and ask you guys about opinions and about any questions you have. So if you do have any of those, write them down in the chat. We will read those out every now and then, and otherwise we'll talk about new stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, if you see us looking in that general direction, most of the time that's when we are looking for your questions or your comments.
So if we look in that direction and are disappointed, that means there's no new questions.
Yeah. So what, shall we start?
We can start with something new. There's no questions or comments yet. But yeah, generally we also sometimes show off our product to people who are new, completely new to what we do. Haven't had a chance to try it out. Maybe we'll do this today. I'm not sure what Žiga has planned for us.
Yeah, actually, I've planned it to come after the grandiose announcement of us.
There are grandiose announcements?
Sure.
Cool.
We brought the Studer A812 Mark I online to mix analog platform. Bravo us.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a tape machine.
Yeah, that's
a
a late 80s, early 90s quarter-inch stereo master tape machine, master tape recorder.
That's it. That's what it is, and it's a quite one of the last designs to be made by Studer as a tape machine. It was meant for studio use, so it's not one of those hi-fi machines. It's a real workhorse. So hopefully, the first reactions we got from the crowd is it sounds great, and it sounds very different to the Telefunken M15 that we already have, which is much older design. Oh, hello, Jungeros. Hi.
Oh.
Centuria. Yeah, cool. Oh, thank you for liking the new website. A lot of effort went into that, and a lot of internal struggle. Should we do it this way or that way? The previous one was black. Shouldn't we do everything in black? And it's like maybe a bit of color doesn't hurt.
Well, I like it also.
Yeah, me too. So I think in the end we're all
Turned
happy.
out pretty okay.
That's great. It's good to hear that people like it.
Yeah.
So the Studer is out.
The Studer is out. And actually, yesterday I've already made a really short kind of a tutorial video, but it's not actually in depth or something. It's just the fact that the Studer is interfaced with the converters a little bit different than the rest of the system. And that's why I think it needs a little bit of extra explaining so people can get great results out of it. Point being, it is connected to the converters that are referenced to plus 24 dBu,
Yeah, so
which
it's
is
hot.
freaking hot for vintage gear. And for that reason, it's, if just left as it is with levels and everything, it's quite easy to overdrive it quite a lot.
Yeah, so left to its own devices, if you just put in something at 0 dB FS and press play, then you'll hear a lot of distortion. That's kind of by design. I mean, because then you can get distortion if you want to, but in most cases when you don't want it, just turn the upper knob on the I/O unit down
Yeah.
and you should be okay. So even if it's like 12 dB down, that's fine, right?
Yeah, that's actually. I was wondering if people are gonna freak out by having to lower the volume for 12 dB because that's a lot, and losing bits and all that. But the point is, you lose almost exactly 2 bits out of 24, and on the best day, the Studer has 75 decibels of signal to noise ratio, which roughly equals to 12.5 bits. So even if you were to lower the volume for 24 or 30 decibels, you would still be much
you would still be in the clear. I mean, you're still getting all of the bits of the machine is actually able to generate.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. So you're getting a lot of quantization from the tape. Hi, Nate. Yes, this is a new room. Nate's actually worked with us for quite a while on the Precision EQ. Most of the firmware is his fault, and I say fault. No, it's great. It works. That's what's important. And this is the new room. We've moved here, 1 month ago?
Roughly
a month ago, maybe a few weeks more or something like that.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's a new room. The most important feature behind me is the fridge, actually in that direction, and of course a Death Star on our door. So there's also a lot more space, but that's not so important. The most important thing is the fridge.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
The fridge.
And the contents of the fridge. Let's not get into that. Juice. What else?
Juice. What else? Anyway,
yeah. In 8 minutes, or now it's 7. So 15 past 3, I have a slot reserved.
Okay.
For the Studer tape machine, because an eager user is using it right now. So we'll have to wait a little bit. But then I have the slot reserved, so I can show it to you.
So I think about the Studer, we've already talked about it quite a lot, but still I think for some people who might not have caught some of the webinars in between, the Studer is a very nicely programmable machine. So I mean, it's very modern and has a lot of features, lots of options. One of the things is it has 4 different tape speeds. On the Telefunken, you can't change the tape speed without recalibrating, so we fixed it to 15 IPS. However, on the Studer, we could, in theory, go to other tape speeds, but we decided to keep it simple for the first release. So right now, the Studer is just fixed at 15 IPS, the same as the M15, so you can have a apples to apples comparison on both the tape machines. However, in the future, we would like to give you the option of at least 3, but maybe all 4 tape speeds. So it's 375, 7.5, 15, and 30.
Yeah.
Right. So quite a few options. There have already been some ideas on our Discord server about using the lowest setting to smash some drums and decimate things. So I'm all for that. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like on 3.75. Sound.
It's a bit dull on the highs.
Yeah, I think you can make up for it.
The weirdness that happens in the lows could be a cool trick or an effect or something like that. So I think why not? If we unlock all the control that is available, why not just put another speed in it? It wouldn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, assuming technically it works out, we'd do all the speeds, so all 4 speeds, and there's I think the option of 3 different bias settings. So maybe we'll do those as well. I mean, maybe, but like at some point in time we'll do those as well. So right now it is as it is, but it's going to get loaded with more features in the future. So let's see. There's quite a bit of chatter now in the chat box. That's great. Difference from the usual. Great. What's next? We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
there's a suggestion to release what's inside the fridge at 100 likes. Cool, sure,
Yeah.
we can do that.
100 likes where? On the video?
I say yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So if this video gets 100 likes,
Someone's watching the same YouTube channel as you are.
Davey 504's channel is amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So anyway, it would be cool to play with different tape speeds and different bias settings. Can't wait to give this to you guys right now. We'll just wait for everything to stabilize a little bit, see if there's any remaining bugs with the Studer and stuff. So, and then we'll add more features and a little bit expanded GUI because that's user interface. Because that's
this is probably something that will take quite a while, I guess.
Right.
Because we have to first design and then make have made a new.
There will be some thought that
Yeah.
goes into how do we exactly do that. Is it going to be like, I don't know, buttons or I don't know.
Spinning reels like all the tape machine plugins.
I mean, it would be cool. It's also so much work.
Yeah.
But why not? I don't know. Let us know in the chat if you'd like spinning reels on the tape machine.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
All
Anyway, so the other question, good question was, what's next? Do we have a? Oh yeah, let's hear it.
This
So,
is next.
This is next, yeah. So what is it? What is next, Žiga?
Yeah, this is something we'll call a audio destruction unit. So as you can see, it's filled with beautiful little tubes and beautiful not so little Cornhill transformers.
Yeah, Neve stuff.
Yeah. And of course the automation. And this is a elaborate overdrive box.
Yeah.
Tube overdrive box with different filter settings for the overdrive section. It will be hooked onto another one of our add-on cards for mid-side processing and for crash and blend or parallel processing.
Yep. So let's say I've never heard the ADU before. What is it like? And what's it for?
It's like I don't know.
Is it a guitar pedal?
Yeah, it can be a guitar pedal.
Okay.
Actually, it can be a serious guitar pedal. So
Can
it's
I
not.
distort bass with it?
Yeah, you can distort bass heavily with this unit. It can be really subtle,
Right.
but it goes to 11 for
so
sure.
I can do a mix with it. Can I like saturate a mix with it, or is it too much?
You can.
I can.
You can saturate the mix with it, and with the parallel blending capability added onto this box, it can be really, really, really subtle, but it can also go to, high gain guitar preamp or guitar amp style destruction. So it's everything in between.
Cool. So it's officially the first distortion unit for mixed analog.
Yep.
That's cool. And it's tube based.
And it's tube based.
Great. So there's 3 tubes per channel.
Actually, yeah, should we disclose the innards, or is this too much for?
I don't see why not.
It's kind of a legacy of the red boxes behind
someone
me.
wanted the red box online. Well, in a week or so, your wish is our command.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Never
just
thought
in red
about it
box that
before.
Žiga showed later, but it's the same circuit. So the same circuit that's in the red boxes behind me, which is the preamp from the Red 47 console, the Beatles console.
Mm-hmm.
That one is the integral part of the ADU. So that's the input section, and the output section comes from that preamp, and then the distortion in between is some funky.
Yeah, it's another tube gain stage with pretty high gain and filter settings for different emphasis on different frequency spectrum bands.
Yeah. So it's coming along nicely. I think everything is soldered. Now we just need to wire it up, and Žiga already did some firmware for it. and also we have the graphics for it. So actually, the only thing we're waiting for right now is to have it wired all together, and the meters are missing on the front panel. We decided at the last moment, poor electronics guy, sucks to be him, but we wanted to have something on the front panel, so it's not just just a gray
blank space.
Blank space. We wanted to have meters on it, so it will show sort of what current flow.
Yeah, it's actually the gain stage bias current.
So when it's starving, it goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And so then when that happens, then we test it, and if we did the firmware, if Žiga did the firmware right, and
probably not, but
we can
have
try
to do some debugging, and
if that works out, then we'll put it on for free to start with, and then it'll be online for at least a week or so for free, and you guys can use it for half an hour per day on your mixes, on your guitars, on your drums, on basses, whatever, synths, vocals, if you have those, breakdowns with distortion, stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, at least I have been using shitloads of drive on pretty much anything that I've been mixing in the last 3-4 months or something.
Yeah.
I have those moments or ways of discovery of new techniques and everything, and the last half a year, I would say, has been a discovery phase for me, and all different kinds of overdrives and what do they do and what do they not do, and getting to know all the different colors, and it has become an integral part of my mixing technique. So
speaking of colors, this machine in particular, you've shot it out against the Black Box HG2, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? How did that go?
Actually, that's what brought me to vouch for putting this unit online in the first place.
Because we had a bit of internal discussion whether or not to do it and whether to prioritize it. And then
I visited a mixing / mastering studio of a very good friend of ours that has the HG2, the black box, and we've just compared the two units. And to my complete surprise, I figured out that you can get pretty much all the tones that the HG2 can do with the destruction unit in parallel.
Right, so with the dry wet unit.
Yeah.
And HG2, does it do mid-side?
No.
Okay, so there's another reason why you'd want to use this one. Even if you do have an HG2 or an HG2 style plugin, this thing will do mid-side, it will do dry wet, it will do a few more tones as I
that's something that I was missing on on the HG2 was the breadth of the spectrum of tones that you can achieve with it. It's very subtle. It was probably meant to sit on your either instrument bus or master bus, and that means that the level of control of the drive amount is very precise, but it doesn't go nearly as far as you can go with the destruction unit plus the overdrive switches.
It doesn't go to 11.
No, it goes to 3. So yeah, I was very happy with how it turned out. I would gladly own that unit over the black box, and that's saying something, I guess.
It is. Yeah, so I can't wait to put it online for all of you guys. It'll be a first for us, a distortion unit paired with a mid-side and dry wet that you can already use on the Pultec and on the VCA. So, should be a pretty...
On the Fairchild.
On the Fairchild and...
Not the Pultecs.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Pultec's not yet. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Anything else to say about the ADU? I don't think there's any questions about it. Nope. All right.
So the time has come to check the Studer. My session is active.
So we don't know if it works right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, we've been swapping USB cables
and restarting
practically
drivers and stuff.
Yeah. This one is still missing the waveform.
We haven't regenerated those yet. So some of the waveforms disappeared at the move time. It was about a month ago or so. Right. So we have not yet found the time to regenerate the waveforms, sadly. We'll fix.
Yeah. It will happen.
It will happen.
It's the demo files.
It's the demo files.
Okay, so let's first check if the... Okay, we live. Nice.
Ooh, it's not dead.
Yeah. So I hope you can hear me well over the music.
You're probably louder than the music.
Yeah, I've done some basic mixing, but I cannot hear the whole mix to not get feedback. But okay, what I was talking about earlier is the point that the Studer can overdrive pretty quickly if driven close to 0 dBFS
I think
on the
you're way
output.
louder.
So if you listen to, I'll just mute myself and show you just the tape machine sound. So as you can see, it's pretty damn hot. I wouldn't put that on my master fader. It's way too overdriven. Yeah, I've enabled the mic again. So for all the first-time users, I think the sweet spot is somewhere in this lower quarter of the control.
Yeah.
Because at that setting, you are driving the input of the Studer at peak level of plus 12 to plus 14 dBu, which is roughly 6 dB over the calibration point of the Studer, and for peak values that's plenty of headroom. So if you want just the clean tape sound, the beautiful low-end bump and the softening of highs and not much distortion, this is the way to go. So lower the volume, and
coming out from the DA.
Coming out from the DA, and then compensate with the input volume. Now up here,
this raises the volume of the after the AD,
yeah.
But you don't see it on the meters right next to it because those meters always show the AD level before the gain is applied to it. If you want to see what the result of your adjustment is, then you look at the extreme left, here where you have the monitoring level, and so you see now it's went all the way down and you can pump it all the way up. So just to explain the metering a bit, because I think that's like a very confusing part of mix analog right now, and something that we need to, improve, I think, really. Yeah, just a pet peeve of mine is that I think we could do better. Yeah. But we did it the best we could at the time, so I'm not salty, but I'd like to improve it.
So yeah, that's all there is.
That's all there is to this right now. So there's no tape speeds, there's no biases yet. But I think one more thing to explain is the numbers on the tape machine. So these numbers, they count down the amount of minutes that you have left on your,
like so.
So this is the amount of minutes left on the tape before it comes down, to the end, and then when it comes to the end, it has to rewind back to the start. So we're using about 45 minutes of tape at 15 IPS.
And the last time I was using the tape machine, I actually got the chance to see it in action. And I was surprised to see that if the rewind happens during playback and the interface is still active, the remaining time actually shows in reverse, so you know how far it is from
coming to the end. Yeah.
So
that's somewhat by design.
Yeah.
But it could be even better by having something like a progress bar that tells you, we're almost there. Hang on for a few more seconds.
Okay.
Okay, so how much time does the rewind take? About 2 minutes, I believe? Maybe a bit less?
No, I think it's even faster.
This one is really
Studer.
fast, yeah. The telephone can take up to 4 minutes, I think. 3 minutes, something like that. It's quite...
Closer to 2, but...
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. I think between 2 and 2.5.
It seems ages.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to this speed freak over here. Yeah. Okay, so that's been the Studer. It's still free today, and it's probably gonna stay that way until we are happy with having squashed all the bugs. There are still some stability issues. It's locked down overnight here. So quite a few people haven't had the chance to use it overnight because it locked up. I had to reboot it today when I came to the office. So we've added some additional logging. So hope to catch the bug or some situation where we know what to do about its stability. So when it's going to be like 2 or 3 days at least stable in a row, then we'll start charging for it. It's going to be the same price as the Telefunken, seeing as it has the exact same feature set right now. It's only got 1 speed, and it costs about the same to keep it up and running in terms of like having to clean up pads and buy new tape for it.
Yeah.
So for now, feel free to use it for a few more days. At least.
And we have another question.
We have a question? That's great.
Will we have loops on the bar graph in the future? Would be great for mastering. That's still the main thing I use Mix Analog for.
Yep.
We've been
talking about proper metering now for quite some time. Žiga has some advice on how to interpret the RMS meter as a loops, but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, it's not exactly, but it's very close to momentary loops. So the outer meters are at the moment VU RMS meters, so their integration time is 300 milliseconds, and the standard for momentary loops is 400 milliseconds. So it's close. So for ballpark value, you can interpret the outer meters as momentary loops, but I think we will have to start listening to those requests, because I think that
of course,
most of the webinars until now, someone was requesting the loops.
Yes,
so.
It's probably one of the most requested features. And if we weren't so busy with fixing UI and backend bugs and releasing new gear that you guys also like, then we'd do that. But I think it's nighttime, so we'll put it on, I think on the next meeting, which is on Monday. We have a meeting every second Monday where we discuss what to do next. So we'll put it on the table and see if there's any takers. If not, we'll tell someone to take it. Hopefully it's something that I'd like to see. So at least we should design it first and see how it would look like user interface wise, and then show it to you guys on the Discord server, and then we can chat about it, see if that's what you guys would like, and if that's the design that would work for you, and then if that's okay, then we'll code it. I think that's the way to go. Design it first, discuss it, code it. That would be cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
And the next question is creating our setup choosing between single modules scheduled at a certain time? At the moment, I think it's still sitting in the endless backlog of features.
You mean creating a custom?
Yeah, I interpret that as custom product.
I didn't quite understand your question, but I think you're asking whether or not you could like mix and match the single products like units and stuff like that. Right now, okay. No, right now that's something that we want to do. That's something that we have a lot of work already done on, but it's not remotely finished. Like there are still issues to sort out. One of the things is that we really want to have you guys running through as little ADDA loops as possible. And to do that, we need to route between the boxes through something like a automated patch bay. And we've made one, and we've made software for it, but we're not quite happy with the software. So until that's fixed and dependable, we can't really put it out. And then we also have to figure out about the user interface and the booking, how to solve those things. So we've done a little bit of like thinking on that, how to make our lives better, easier, and your lives better at the same time with Mix Analog. And we're thinking about this concept called rooms, where you have a room and you book actually a room, and then within that room you book the gear that's available inside it. and then the room has a fixed amount of people that it can have. Yeah, that it can handle. So we're thinking something like a modern mastering room and a vintage mastering room to start with, but then there would be also a mixing room in the future, and a guitar room and a synth room and so on. So things like that. And the idea here is that every of those rooms would have a dedicated patch bay, so a dedicated automated patch bay. If done that way, then we can cut down on the complexity of the software to both book and manage and route, and also cut down on the amount of inputs and outputs that each patch bay needs to have, because then we can share just some units, in some room share the same patch bay, in some other units in another room share the same patch bay. Then that makes the patch bay smaller, which makes it much more affordable to make. So right now we have one of those patch bays done, and we're looking to make another one because we're running out of
I/O.
We're running out of I/O. Both the ADDA units cost a fortune, and the Pathfinder, the router patch bay thingy that we made also costs a fortune to make. It's it's the most expensive unit
probably
that we make aside from the Fairchild. I think it's there in price. The reason being is mastering grade. It's made only from relays. It's non-blocking, so that means that when one user would change the order of his setup or would enter a room or leave a room, you wouldn't hear a click in any of the other sessions. All of the other patch bays on the market right now have this problem, that if you change the configuration, it clicks even in the channels that are not in the path of that change. So if we use something off the shelf like a flock or something else, then you would have clicks on sessions that are not
yours.
Well,
on your session.
On your session, you would click because you've changed the order, and that's okay. But someone else might be bouncing at the same time, and then he would get a click in his download. So we can't have that. So we made our own patch bay that doesn't have that, but it's super expensive to make, and it doesn't have a lot of I/O. Especially because it doesn't have this problem with clicks. So, long story short,
that's a funny thing. We have to allow shits.
Yeah, we have to allow shits.
Fucking AI.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we want to do that. It's been on our minds for most of this year. How do you do that? How do you do that well? And what do we need to change to get it? And unfortunately, most of the year was spent fixing bugs and not so much on making features. But finally, I think this is...
Yeah, it's coming together.
It's coming together. Quite a few things now have improved to a state where we're okay. We can take a deep breath and now finally start doing features like the plugin and the custom products and actually rooms. So that's the next steps. Okay. Sorry for the long answer.
That was a long one, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so
going forward.
What's next?
Yeah,
Did we
maybe there's small, really short news on the Gyro G24.
So that's the next unit.
Yeah.
After the ADU, we're making the Gyro G24, which is a
passive aggressive. So it's a cadmium cell optical compressor with completely passive signal path.
Yeah, that's just...
Yeah,
it's a mouthful, but it's...
it sounds like I'm
so
making
unique.
it up, but it's one of a kind. For those that do not know the unit, the whole principle of operation of that wonderful unit is that the compression actually happens by introducing crosstalk between the positive and negative polarity of your symmetrical signal. So
it uses the balance signal, and then it introduces an unbalance there so that the resulting signal is attenuated, which is gain reduction.
So you can make that with a simple resistor, which is a passive element, and this resistor happened to be a light sensitive resistor.
So you put light on it, and it Does
It
what?
compresses.
It compresses. So what can I use this compressor for? What is it good for?
It's good for your master bus, or
Great.
maybe an instrument bus, but I think it really shines on master bus.
And we already have a VCA and a Fairchild that do those. And what's this one different on? And what does it do differently?
Color.
Color.
The character is something you won't find in any other box. I was lucky enough to have it for a test drive in the studio before we put it online, and it really is one of a kind unit. I cannot say it sounds like something else, but just a little bit different, because I haven't heard anything that sounds like it. It's very transparent. If set right, it can do all the classic compressor stuff. So longer attack times will give you more transients, and shorter release times or medium release times will introduce some pumping, and it can do all of that. But then it also has a elliptical filter in the sidechain, so you can mix between the mid and side channel in regards to triggering the compression. So you can
Okay, so kind of like our VCA that has a variable influence between the mid and the side, right?
It's practically the same thing, but done differently engineering wise.
Yeah, and internally in the box, whereas but that's cool. That's really cool. I've heard myself that a lot of mastering engineers rave about it for bus compression, and I know at least one like world-class mastering engineer that only uses this compressor for bus compression. So interesting. It will be a good addition. It comes from Gyref Audio, from Jakub Erland, who is a good friend and an inspiration to us all. So it's great to finally be able to do something with him. And it will be first of his units, and hopefully we'll get more of his units to put online.
Actually, his first unit on Mix Analog is the Studer tape machine, but it doesn't have the Gyref name on it.
That's true. That's the first one that we got from Jakob's hands, but this will be the first one that bears the Gyref Audio moniker. So it'll be a very interesting new kind of thing release. I don't think a lot of people know about Gyref Audio, especially in the States. So it'll be very interesting to put it online and see what the reaction will be. Maybe Jakub will have to employ a few additional people to keep up with all of the orders. I have no idea, but hopefully it'll be at least good for you guys to try on your buses. So that's the Gyref G24. Anything else? Yeah, we have a few more things, 2 more things. So
I
hold on with
actually
us.
forgot to tell about the actual progress on the Gyref.
So go for it.
So yeah, all the automation configuration has been scoped out
for the G24.
For the G24. True. Which means that as soon as the wiring for the ADU is complete, Elvis, our electronics guy, can start assembling the automation for G24. And it also means that as soon as I finish the firmware for the ADU, I'm also set pretty well on to start working on the firmware for the G24 as well. So I think that once the ADU is on, the Gyref might happen pretty quickly.
That'll be great to see. Hopefully that happens. I've seen that it has a lot of knobs. The Gyref G24, the list of things that we need to automate is quite huge. But I think, we all like a challenge. If you think about it, the Precision EQ has about 50 knobs altogether. So, 50 controls, not knobs, but about 50 different parameters to tweak. So compared to that, the Gyref is still easier.
Pretty okay.
Yeah, but the Precision EQ took us a year. So
yeah.
Anyway, so that's the Gyref G24 progress. It's going to the electronics guy, hopefully in a week or so.
Yeah, looks
and
like
then
it.
we'll see how much time that takes. because of the complexity. It's a bit hard to say, but hopefully it won't be long. And then we can start on the graphics and the firmware for it. All right, so moving on. Actually, if you haven't yet, there's a link both on Mixanalog on the webpage and maybe also somewhere else to our Facebook community and also our Discord chat room where you guys can chat with us in real time. I'm saying this because there you can, if you're in a different time zone, you can't watch this video or something like that, but there you have a question or a problem, or you'd like to give us, a suggestion or something. You can do that there pretty easily, and there's a bunch of, pretty nice, there's a good discussion going on in Discord especially, and what we'd like to do is to keep and reward this community. So we're releasing things like coupons and free mat tokens into the community on Facebook and Discord. So if you join, then, you could get something like, I think it's a 20% off, something like that.
I don't know, you were doing the coupons. So.
I don't know exactly how many percent, but there's a discount to buy stuff from the tokens on Mixanalog, and occasionally we'll also give away some tokens to the members who are at the any of the communities, either the Discord one or the Facebook one, or both. So there's actually a coupon thing going on now, and it's still active until the end of this month. I think there are 3 or 4 more left. So
grab yours.
Join the community and you can get that. Okay.
I think we are
nearing the end of our list of what's new and what's happening. There's one more thing, and it's really important, and that's we are changing the video, we're making a new video about Mixanalog and about us and the project and so on. So we'd like to make something like a Kickstarter style video about the project. So it's something that someone who doesn't know anything about Mixanalog, its history and stuff, could just watch and understand what it's about. So what are we about? What do we offer? What kind of situation would be nice for you to use Mixanalog in? What could it solve for you? So if you have any ideas or suggestions about that, just write us. But especially, we are looking for music to put into that video. So if you're a musician or a producer, or someone who you think might be interested, get in touch. We'll make something like, it's a call for music, and we'll see how we can compensate you. We're looking for something lush and great sounding, so that we can put that in a video and get everyone excited about Mixanalog. So if you think you're up to it, it would be great to work with you.
Yeah, we thought that before going on Fiverr and just selecting a random composer, someone who makes ad music for Kickstarter videos, we might want to give that chance to our community first, because that, I think, builds friendship in a way, and
I think I really it's a nice story, I think, and it's a nice dialogue. We all know that Mixanalog is young, and it's not a complete product. It's growing, and the people who are with us right now and who are using it and are giving us support so that we can still develop it and enhance it are the most amazing people you can, really, you guys are amazing. This is a dream come true for us to work on this project. We would like to work with you more intimately on it. I would like to also give something back. It's not just new gear and features and stuff, but maybe there's something else we can do together.
So where's the Discord link? Do you know by heart?
I can make one right now.
Okay.
Here we go. So anyone...
There you go.
There you go. Here's one of them, and I'm not sure where on the webpage it is, which is why I pasted one just right now, and I'll take a look. It should be somewhere at the social links. If it isn't, then I'll add it. It is the Facebook group should be linked on our Facebook page and also on our social links on the webpage. So, but it's best to chat, actually. We prefer that. That's the best. It's real time, and we can have a private conversation or a public conversation or anything like that. So
yeah, and your comments are not scraped to show you ads. That's also cool.
That's also cool. So, yeah. Anything else that we can talk about? Anything new?
So yeah, that's everything from the little list that we had that we've prepared for you today. So now it's time for your questions, if you were saving them for last.
Yeah, so if you have any questions or suggestions, let us know. Right now is fine. We'll answer any of those. Other than that, anything new that we haven't talked about? We fixed quite a few bugs.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah? No, actually, I have one thing. The volume units.
Oh yeah, so a new batch of volume units that will go in front of the tapes.
Yeah. So maybe let's just quickly recap the story on that.
Yeah.
Because there's a
story.
There is a story.
So we've had let's say, a very high-level professional user that was using the Telefunken machine to get some tape color into one of his masters, and he noticed that there is a slight ringing on.
It's like whine, maybe, like a whining sound, like an ee.
Yeah, it was close to a sine wave with some harmonics.
All right.
Close to 20K and up, and you can see that if you download the file at 96K or more. So we figured out that actually the power supply on the volume unit for the Telefunken tape machine is
not at the best it could be.
Yeah, not
could
exactly
be improved.
performing the best.
But also, we're having some second thoughts about the volume unit itself. I mean, the way it's made, it has a ceiling
the headroom
exactly,
for the volume unit is not exactly what I would wish for.
Yeah.
I think it caps out at 21.5 dBu or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's less than the Telefunken tape machine can take. So we thought it a good idea to make new volume units that would go to at least 24, maybe even 26 dBu. So you can drive the tape machines really, really hard.
Yeah. And then we would put those in front of the Studer and in front of the Telefunken.
Yeah.
So right now the Studer is without a volume unit, but after we're done, the Studer and the Telefunken should have a brand new volume unit in front of them. So the volume unit is just a analog loudness volume adjuster. So you can boost the volume with it. You can fix the balance of the left and right channels a bit. And that's mostly what it's used for. So you can attenuate or boost the signal in the analog domain as opposed to in the digital domain, which is what the black knobs on the I/O unit do. So currently the Telefunken has one of those and the Studer doesn't. But we found out that the performance of that unit is not what we wished for. So we're going to upgrade it. We're going to make a new batch of those with what we've learned from what the feedback we got. So it's going to have a much better power supply and an increased headroom. So I think that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, nothing to add.
That's cool.
And since there are
still no questions,
no
so
more
everybody
questions.
gets everything. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so well, see you then in 2 weeks here on YouTube, and hopefully in between we'll chat somewhere on Discord, or see you in the Mix Analog community on Facebook. Oh, there is something. It would be, I think, fixed speeds. It does have vari speed, and it does have some sort of adjustment, but I'm not sure you can access that serial.
I think it's plus minus 10%.
Yeah. So the question is, can you get something in between the speeds of, or is it fixed like 375, 75?
It's fixed.
Yeah. I think that's the way it works.
Yeah,
so it's fixed. It does have some adjustment, but I'm not sure we can tap into that with the serial interface. We'll see. I mean, we'll study the manual.
Yeah,
it's a good question. Thank you. We'll see if there's anything that we can access, and then if so, maybe we could do that. All right. All right. It could be. So we'll see. The thing I see right now, though, is that the computer on the Studer is a very, very old CMOS style computer. It's a fixed function computer, so it's not something that you can program as such. Well, maybe there's a Zilog Z80 somewhere inside. There might be.
Yeah.
So anyway, the thing is, we don't dare touch too much of it in case that if we break something in there, then it's gonna be hard to replace.
Yeah, the problem is if we somehow manage to brick the computer on the tape machine, we can simply throw it away, or get another computer card, which I have no idea where to source at the moment.
We should probably have one anyway.
Yeah,
we should probably try to have a replacement anyway.
But I don't know which model of the Ampex.
If it's something analog, like analog in terms of it doesn't have a computer with programming on it, or a CMOS thing, then if it's like, a gate logic and stuff, then that's usually, you look at the schematic and you see, okay, so I just need to add some voltage here and stuff will happen.
So I was trying to say that it's probably easier to do a very speed on an older machine than it is on the Studer, because it's a lot of digital control is built into it already without us tinkering to make it remote control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't actually tinker with the control side at all. We just made it work. So we fixed the stuff that was broken, but we didn't add any features to it. So, but it's a good suggestion. We'll see if it's not too hard, and we will look into it. If it's too hard, then sadly, we think that we'd rather have it work than have it crap out on us, and then there would be no Studer to have online. That would be sad. So yeah. Well, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other ones. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, if other questions arise, you are welcome to the Discord chat or our Facebook community.
Yeah. And we'll take care of you there.
Yeah.
Or write a comment down here if you like.
So, until next time, in 2 weeks, that's it from us.
Have fun, see you around, and
make cool music.
That's right. Send some to us if you think it's cool enough for a video.
Yeah, of course. All right. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.